evening, everybody. Welcome back to PSGL. George Morgan here and Jack Canat. All the lights are currently lit here on track. And it is go, go, go! Donoso with a crafty maneuver up the inside. Masterclass from the Chilean.
Crucial championship points on offer here.
Do not count out Danny Berezne.
Longe has done the job. This is for the win between these two.
Freddie Rasmussen wins the United States Grand Prix.
Alfie Butcher wins for the first time ever. Lucas Blakely takes the championship. It's Barry Borman.
Jarno Opmeer is your champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PSGL. It's been a long time since I've been here at the fold of PSGL, and well, certainly it is good to be back, and well, it is good to be here for round 3. Alongside me in the commentary box today, well, it's the lovely, ever wonderful, and ever consistently here. It's James Head, everybody. How are you, James? Absolutely, let's hope they do behave themselves indeed. Qualifying is already underway. You've not seen our faces yet, and maybe you don't want to, and certainly we've avoided that up to this point already. So it's already a good start to the broadcast here, and well, it's hopefully going to be a good start for the man on your screen at the moment, TF10 Dirk. He has been absolutely blitzing every competition you can throw at that man, and well, hopefully he'll be doing the same today. We've got some exciting new things for tonight's broadcast that you will see a little bit later on, and hopefully a little bit later on in this session. But this man, TF10 Dirk, about to take a hot lap. Take it away, Mr. James Head. Indeed, a bit of a messy start for qualifying for TF10 Dirk. Brando, as you say, good on his opening lap time at the moment. And, well, it really is interesting to see a driver used to not making mistakes, making a bit of an uncharacteristic mistake there. So not a great start for him in his qualifying session, but hopefully he will bounce back as we head through to the qualifying session now. And as you say, Brando on your screen at the moment, heading his way through sector number 2 and into sector 3, and it's a good opening lap so far. He'll be the pace setter, and well, he will be the benchmarker for everybody else to try and chase as he rounds the final bend now and up to the line. What can he muster for his team as he now goes up to the line? 1:41.312. It's a good opening lap time, but what can other people do? Casper Flack can't beat it. TTM Moustache absolutely can. Sets about a tenth and a half there. Now Tales, next driver to cross the line. What can he do for TF10? He goes top of the timesheet. Brilliant lap time there, a 1:41.031. Good opening lap time as Volokongan and Rayan slot into second and third respectively, and Matteo gets in the mix there. Just 2 thousandths of a second there separating the second and third as Ryder Hall tops the timesheet.
Gully, Renz Thomas and Barak all invalidating their lap times. Tom Roberts, I think, the only one on a lap time right now, coming into the right-hander of the bus stop chicane, 13.8 in that middle sector from Tom, as now comes through the final corner. The experienced figurehead of PSF1 on the run to line. Does he go anywhere near? No, he doesn't. 13th position, 41.473, 1,000 clear of Casper Flack. In the end, though, Rodder the lad on top, Cameron Dowd in second, Towers in third, and just look at how many drivers are rushing out the track already. Ryan, Alpha Gully, Barak, Renz Thomason all need a lap in because they know rain is coming.
Well, rain does not appear to be on the forecast as things stand, but certainly overcast conditions maybe proving a bit of detriment in terms of the temperature for the tyres, but it's likely to remain dry through the entire qualifying session, as you can see there on the right hand side of your screen. That lovely little weather graphic giving you that insight there to tell you it is likely to stay dry, but it is a little bit more overcast than it was at the start, and well, not ideal if you want to get a bit more heat into the tyres, because the sun has disappeared behind the clouds. Not ideal for that tyre temperature, but these are drivers. They know that that's what's going to happen, and that's why they made the best of that opening lap whilst they can, but the track will only ramp up, and, well, hopefully, the sun disappearing not going to be of detriment to any of them.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully people can hear me, by the way. I can still see Jess saying that she can't still hear me, which is unfortunate. It might be fortunate if you absolutely hate me, but if you don't, then it's okay. Ryan is coming in for the left-hander of Blanchimont, coming to the left-hander of 17, then into the bus stop chicane in turns 18 and 19. He has got one of the cars out, one of the kicks actually getting out of the way on the right-hand side of him. Coming now through the right-hander and the left-hander now, the bus stop chicane. Famously hay baled back in the 1990s around here, before, of course, they reprofiled the circuit in 1992, as now comes down in towards turn 1. The Red Bull will go through his first sector split. Alpha Gully just in behind him, Renz Thomason also just done up on a lap time in behind. Rodder lad on top of Cameron Dowd second in third position. Then through Radion at turn number 4 will that is built over the circuit. Expect them to be around about a 31 flat, I think, through the first sector. We'll see what Ryan's first sector split is coming up to now. 30.6. Don't trust the commentator, clearly.
Yeah, really interesting at the moment what we're seeing in this qualifying session. I'm trying to fix you, James. I don't know what's going on. It's really confusing me. But I think I know what to do, don't I? I think I am getting it sorted. So, hopefully, I will sort that out for you, so we can hear the lovely man that is James Head. We should hopefully be able to hear him now. If not, I'm going to have to do an absolute mad one to try and fix this, because I have got no idea what is going on. It's all fine now. Right, so it's all good. We don't need to worry. Lovely. So we are here. We are now sorted. I fixed my problems. So hopefully we'll be good for the rest of qualifying. Rens Thomason needs to get a good qualifying in at the moment. He's not got a lap time on the board, and he's hopefully going to be trying to get a good lap time on the board in the next couple of moments' time as he rounds through the Sector 2 timing line. He's improving by a good margin at the moment here. It shows up here as he now heads through Sector 2, and in that final sector now, as we go now through the final couple of corners with Rens Thomason, and well, it is not looking too bad at all as we head through into the bus stop chicane, and well, out the other end of this could be a brilliant lap for a brilliant driver, and now that line, it's just a couple of meters away. He does top the timesheet, a brilliant lap time and a brilliant margin there. 10th and a half, that is a brilliant lap time from him.
It is a very good lap time from him. I luckily had a race around here a couple of weeks ago with Rens Thomason in it, and he set a 40.6 in qualifying. He's on a 40.7. He's a 10th off his PB around here. Can he do potentially the same thing with the final 8 minutes to go within this qualifying session? It'll be very fascinating to see. Other drivers on the lap time, by the way, Rydal just starting up on a lap, Mateo just starting up on a lap. In fact, quite a few drivers starting up on their lap time. Volokongan's first sector coming in, 30.6 coming through the first sector. There is a graphical glitch, by the way. If you see little black bits of what almost looks like carbon fibre coming up, it's the tarmac off the track, not the actual carbon fibre of the car. Volokongan, though, I'm on board with him now, coming in through the right-hander and the left-hander now of Jackie X corner. On the run now down in towards Puon. 8th position currently, 41 flat. I think he's one of the first out on track. Correct me if I'm wrong, Byron. Just shout across me if he's not. As Volokongan is through.
First on track.
Fantastic. He now comes through the right-hander of turn number 12, 13. I'm losing count of corners all around this track. Now coming towards Campus corner. Still that one pursuer. Volokongan's middle sector, 13.4. He's aiming to go Mustache, Marios, Oscar, that sort of area.
Yeah, he's having a good lap time at the moment. He's only got a couple of, a little bit to go. This lap time's so long, the track conditions can really change at a moment's notice. And well, it seems like Volokongan is having a good lap time at the moment as he goes around those final couple of bends. What can he muster up as now round the final bend he goes out of the bus stop chicane, and it's third place. A good lap time for him as Tales there, a really good lap time to go second, and now Mateo goes fourth. So Volokongan pretty much back where he was when he crossed the line, before he crossed the line, as a couple of drivers pull themselves ahead. ET8 Paul goes second, a good lap time from him, and I believe that was TTM Mustache who's just gone sixth. So Volokongan losing places, a lap time that looked really good, wasn't quite as competitive as he might have thought, as everybody else makes a massive gain there on that second run. So a good second lap time for a lot of the field here.
Cameron Dowds is coming in toward the bus stop chicane. He's looking very good. 2.5 tenths up pretty much in the middle sector. Flies it now, coming through the bus stop chicane. Should go second with this lap time. On the run to the line, he does go second. And in the end, he's only about 500th of a second off Thomason. Ren's out on top, Cameron Dowd in second, Paul there improving to third position as well, Talas there in fourth, Marios improving into sixth position, the only Cypriot in fact in the top tiers of PlayStation regardless of what tier you're in. Marios the only Cypriot representative, he goes there into sixth position. Mateo there in seventh, doing vastly better than some of his qualifyings that I've seen him recently on this game cycle. Max von der Geese improving into 10th position as well. Trying to see if there's anybody else on a lap time right now. Tom and validated Dirk and
Brando
Rack are just starting up. Brando, he is down in 14th. He's back in the pits. 5 tenths down in that middle sector. Barak, however, 30.6 in the first sector is a lap to the right hand of left.
James,
Byron's gone quiet for me.
No, you just went quiet out of nowhere. I thought you might have disconnected, so I was waiting for you to catch up and start spewing out loads of random words. So here we are. We've got about 5 minutes left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got a good rest of this qualifying session still to go, as we are very close to the final runs in this qualifying session. TF Den Dirk on a lap time at the moment, and he's on a decent lap time at the moment, as he's hopefully going to be...
Oh, Barak's flying.
And Barak as well, as you say, flying along at the moment. A couple of drivers having a really good competitive run at the moment. Let's see what they can deliver there. So what is Barak doing? He's got a purple Sector 1, he's got a green Sector 2, and well, he could be on set for a massive leap up the order here as round the final bend he goes out the bus stop chicane. Where can he slot into? It's into 5th. What about, though, TF10 Dirk, who's also on a good lap time at the moment, as Barak then up to 5th. What can TF10 Dirk do about that lap time? Can he take himself higher? He absolutely can. Goes to 4th. Wow, what a lap time from TF10 Dirk as well. So both of Barak and TF10 Dirk getting their first lap times on the board there, but very, very competitive lap times from the pair of them.
Very competitive lap times indeed, and that Dirk going 4th, Barak there in 6th, just going to show, I think, the consistency that they're finding, lap upon lap upon lap. But what that does mean is drivers will be put under pressure within the final 4 minutes of qualifying, and that also means there will be plenty of invalidations potentially right at the end of this qualifying session. Somebody that isn't invalid right now, though, is Alpha Gully, coming through the left-hander of Jackie X corner, running now down in towards Puon. He's the next to set up on a lap time. He's got a Haas behind him, which I think is on a down lap, which is Barak. And then we've got also Ryan on the lap time coming down the hill in towards Puon. But Alpha Gully now coming to the left-hand return number 13, now through the right-hand return number 14. Looks really dodgy in terms of the steering. I've got to be honest, he doesn't look comfortable. 13.5 in the middle sector, 10th and a half up. I mean, I criticise Alpha Gully, and then there's me probably outside the 107% range right now if I was out on track. But Alpha Gully now coming in towards Blodgemon. We'll see what he can do coming through the left hand of 16, now through the right hand, the kink of 17, into the bus stop chicane at the final couple of corners. Ryan, remember, is behind him out on track as well. Alpha Gully decides to juke me completely and put him in himself, even into the pit lane. Ryan will also be in the pit lane, bar him, because he's invalid.
He has indeed invalidated on that run. So a few minutes left on the clock here as drivers begin to peel out of the pit lane now. So Rayan, Casper Flack, Volakongan and Moustache on out laps now. Everybody else who's on the track at the moment is on an in lap, likely to come in, change those tyres and go again for one final run here. Your out lap here is probably about 2 minutes or so at a minimum really here. So anyone who doesn't get out very soon is going to not really be able to get a final run in this qualifying session. But I believe the driver leading the charge at the moment on these outlaps is Rayan, but I'm not sure what Zara is doing at the moment. If they're on an outlap, they're down, so not improving by anything at all. So yeah, looks like it's going to be Rayan who is going to lead us away for the final flying runs. And well, a lot of changes about to happen, no doubt about that one. So only a couple of moments time, we're going to have a pole sitter. Will it be the man currently at top, the Ren of Rens Thomason, or could it be Cameron Dowds, ET8 Paul, or any of the drivers on the grid? It is so close. It really could be absolutely anyone.
Owen, by the way, saying in the chat, a 40.2 from Renz. That's a bit of wishful thinking with these track conditions, I've got to be honest. Out on track. Casper Flack, by the way, has just started up on a lap coming through the right-hand return number 1. Rayen, who I'm on board with, actually, now coming in towards the right-hander across the start-finish line, running down in toward the right-hand return number 1. 41 flat, his PB currently. Behind Ryan, behind Max von der Geest. Max von der Geest and Ryan, I believe, were on the same lap time during the session as well. So they've got to try and improve in that mid-pack. But Rayen, who is normally very strong around here in terms of qualifying, coming through the right-hander now, Arouge and Radion at the left-hand return number 4, now running down in towards Lake Comet turn number 5. We'll see what he can do. The French Algerian running now down in the RB in toward the right-hand return number 5. What is his first sector split? 30.7. He is up there, but with this cloud cover building over the circuit and with that mistake, I don't think he's improving.
No, going to be really difficult to improve at this point in the session as well. The track conditions, just that overcast is seeming to be a little bit of a difficulty, but there's nothing discrediting any of these drivers as they really do sling it there into No Name Corner now as we head through Puon. And, well, it really is quite the amount of pace that we're seeing from Rayan at the moment as now we go through Fagné and towards Stavolo now. And, well, this is not a bad lap time at all from Rayan. If it isn't an improvement, it is still a mighty lap as it's 2 tenths up. That is what you want to see at that Sector 2 board. Sector 1 might not have been what Rayan wanted, but that Sector 2 is what may make or break this lap for Rayan, as now through the final couple of bends here as we go in towards the bus stop chicane for the last time for Rayan. The checker flag is now out. Ryan and Casper Flag haven't made the line, so they won't play any further part in this qualifying session. Rayan now up to the line, goes to third. That is a massive leap up the order. Matteo looks like the next driver to cross the line.
He will be. Rens Thomason, though, however, is ahead of him, and he is up in the middle sector, now coming in toward the bus stop chicane. He's there on top right now, but he might not be, because he invalidates, coming through the right-hand return number 18. Cameron Dowd is purple in the middle sector. Not sure what a sector time split was. Matteo, however, as you mentioned, is on the run toward the line now, and he goes into fourth position. Very good lap there by the Italian, and he actually set the same lap to Brienne. As though 400's up in the middle sector, needs to find 100th from somewhere, and this might be his pole position. The Scotsman, the flying Scotsman, now coming to the left-hander. Oscar goes quickest. Cameron Dowd, can he go quicker? No, he can't. He goes second. He goes ahead of Rens Thomason, though, however. Paul in the end goes second as well. You want a 40.7. You want a 40.7. Tallis is down in terms of his lap time. Barak may be the one that could try and score the apple car. He was looking good on his previous lap. Now coming through the middle sector, Barak is flying. 13.1 in the middle sector. He is up on Oscar, up on Paul in that middle sector. He has got to look pretty good, but he's got to find all the time now, running in towards Blanchemont once again at turn 17. This is now the Spaniard against the clock, running in toward the right-handers of turn 18 and 19 at the bus stop chicane. Is this going to be a stonking lap time now from the Spaniards? He flies the left-hander through the bus stop chicane on the front line. Barak is top, 40.769 from Barak in the end, and I think he's beat Oscar by only a couple thousandth of a second. We'll get confirmation in a minute, and it's 1,000 of a second between Barak and Oscar. Look up how many drivers are in the top 13. A tenth and a half covering. Byron, mad qualifying.
What a qualifying, and what a result that is for Barak, taking that P1 spot by 1,000th of a second. Oscar in second place, then Paul, Cameron Dowds, Rens Thomason, then Rayan for TF10, Matteo, Dirk, Moustache, Tallers, Marios Formula 1, Volo Kongen, Ryder Hall, Max von der Geest, Ryan, Casper Flack, Brando, Alpha Gully, Hazara, and then your final driver there, Tom Roberts there in 20th. But what a qualifying that was. 18 minutes, a blast around the Spa International Circuit, and well, what a race we are set for in a couple of moments' time, as I believe, are we getting straight into it?
No, we're having a restart.
We have a restart, cool. My brain, it's not quite tuned for PSGL. It's been a little while. It's been a little while. As it turns out, it's been such a little while. Because I'm upside down. I'm now upside down. I'm not in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. I've just somehow ended up upside down. So here we go. What a qualifying we've had, though. It really was quite an interesting qualifying. I need to find a way to make myself not upside down, but it's also funny, so I also kind of can't be bothered. So we have a mandatory lobby restart getting underway in a couple of seconds. In fact, it's already getting underway as we speak. And well, as soon as we get that underway, we will be pretty much getting straight back into where we are. But you know this championship better than I do, James. Thoughts on that qualifying session?
That qualifying session was simply the best qualifying session I think we've had all season. It was absolutely magical to watch. Barak is very quick around this track, and in the end, took it by 1,000th of a second. Oscar, who's normally quite quick around this track, second. All of the ones that I expected to be up there in qualifying are up there in qualifying. If you want to take a championship look at it, though, Matteo, of course, leads the way in terms of the championship coming into tonight. 28 points to his name. Rens Thomason and Cameron Dowd, tied for second. Rens Thomason Cameron Dowd should be ahead of Rens Thomason in that graphic. That's wrong, because Cameron Dowd took the race win, of course, in Austin, Texas last week. Oscar Levin, 4th and 15, then Rayen in 5th and 14. Rodadal, Volokongan, Max von der Geest, Azim, and Dirk rounding off the top 10 coming into tonight. But Barak out on top, he's all the way down in 21st position. 17th and 16th have been his best results so far this season, and this has now put him right in the mix, potentially, for even a podium, maybe even a top 5, maybe even better than that, and a race win out on track. But I am waffling on a little bit. But to take my point, to where it was going. Championship picture, Matteo in the end qualified 7th. He's top of the standings, remember. Rens Thomason qualified 5th, Cameron Dowds qualified 4th. So they are all pretty much next to each other out on track. And with Oscar there in 2nd, Ryan there down in 6th position as well, the top 5 are pretty much qualified within the top 7 here tonight in qualifying. So that is very good for them going forward.
Indeed it is. Well, I think now's an opportune moment for us to take a quick advertisement break. I'm not upside down, I managed to fix that, but we'll be back right on the other side of this very short advertisement break. Back. That was a very, very quick advertisement break. I forget how short the advertisements are. It's been a long while. It's one of those, right? You've not been here for just so long, and you throw yourself back in. It feels good to be back, though. It feels so good to be back. And we've got such a good race on our hands as well, as you were mentioning just before we took that break. A man who has finished 16th and 17th is on pole position. That's a real response in terms of bouncing back and showing... Okay, I've had a few unlucky for first races, but here's a statement, right? Statement made. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, statement made, I think, indeed. Barack normally is very consistent, I think, in terms of qualifying. And how he approached that qualifying session, he was up in the middle sector, and I thought he was going to maybe bin it into the bus stop chicane. He didn't in the end, which was phenomenal, I think, from his perspective. Out-qualified Oscar in the splink of about, 5 seconds, I think it was. We had Oscar go top, and then Barack, who we're on board with, going top as well. A fantastic end to that qualifying session. Now we set our attentions to the race. 30-second countdown, by the way, is just going now, so we will get going very soon indeed. But to bring everyone up to speed, Matteo, Rens Thomason, Cameron Dowds, top 3. Oscar Rayen, top 5 coming into tonight. I don't think we've got a standings graphic, but I can just read them out. 28, 22, 22, 15 and 14 for the top 5. How this race is going to plan out, time will tell.
Absolutely. Time will tell indeed. And, well, it's another new first for PSF1 and for PSGL as a whole. But in case you've forgotten where we're going racing or you've just joined us, here's where we're heading. It is round number 3. It is the lovely Spa, Belgium. What a circuit, and it hosts round 3 of season 38. And, well, what a season it's been so far. Welcome to Spa. And as always, thank you to the amazing people over at GT Omega and Sim Racing Centre who make this possible and allow us to do all of this amazing stuff week in, week out. But let's not forget the main event, Spa-Francorchamps, 4.352 miles, 19 turns, such an iconic circuit, hosted so many amazing races, and, well, so much elevation change. It really does change at a moment's notice here, and, well, the weather is always a factor in a race at Spa. 2 DRS zones and, well, some really iconic fast corners, but downforce really needed through that second sector. So it's going to be really interesting to think about what setups these drivers are using, especially if we get some changeable conditions. But we can pretty much take you trackside to what is a little bit of an overcast Spa-Francorchamps. Wrong button. For a while, but let's take you trackside. Spa-Francorchamps. It's looking a little bit overcast. It's looking a little bit like it could rain. Who knows? We'll find out soon.
Yeah, who knows indeed. Just to bring everyone up to speed as well, it was raining in the restarted lobby that we had. So just bring everyone up to speed. We could have had that, but we're not. We're getting overcast conditions. It is not too bad at all. But we get our site set now on the 22 laps of the way to set on track, around the dinosaur track, as I like to call it, of course, here in commentary and indeed in PSF1. How this race is going to pan out is different. You've had some names in the past that have won around here. The likes of Louis Welsh, the likes of Matthias Van Erven, the likes of Jordan Poland, Ismail Fassi, Joey Van Bussel, and last season, Luca Rapazza, new PSGL PCF2 driver, taking the race win from Matteo in second, Cameron Dowd in third. Is anybody going to now bring that to Matteo and Cameron Dowd's perspective? Are they going to pick up another podium, or are they simply going to be outdone by the likes of Barack or Ryan or somebody out on track? It's going to be unique. It's going to be fascinating. I can't wait. Neither can you.
No, absolutely. I am really so excited. It's been such a long time since I've been here at PSGL for a proper race, and to be here for PSF1, what a race to be here for, and what a grid we have got. It is going to be an absolutely blockbuster Belgium GP. You do not want to miss this one, ladies and gentlemen. We are just, hopefully, moments away from lights out here for round number 3. We've had 2 amazing rounds thus far, and this is certainly going to be another one for the history books. Could it be another iconic winner such as Ismail Fassi and all of those amazing names that James Head has listed off that have gone in one ear, come out the other, just because I am so in the zone right now? We are, as I said, only a couple of seconds away, and then hopefully the run down into turn 1 begins, and well, quite a short run at that.
Yep, ready up has been given. The drivers have been told to ready up whenever they want. Tyre compounds, by the way, soft, mediums and hard. 7 laps, 10 laps and 14 laps, depending on what they can do out on track. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a one-stop potentially. Let's see what is going to happen, though, out on track. The drivers will be going very soon indeed.
Indeed they will be. Hopefully we'll see those 5 red lights start to illuminate in a couple of seconds' time. As I'm not sure if you're noticing this, James Head, it's a little less cloudy than it was a second ago, as the sun appears to have emerged a little bit through, so it could be on for a bit of a dry start to the race, but will it stay that way come the checker flag? We are just waiting for the last couple of drivers to ready up, it appears, but we should hopefully, as I said, a couple of seconds time, be good to go here in Belgium. And, well, we hopefully are not too far away there, so we really are just kind of stalling and biding our time as to when we finally get some movement on the racetrack. It appears to be taking a little bit longer than usual. Has there someone forgotten to put a setup on, or it's very interesting. It's not normally quite this long of a wait once that ready up signal's given. Someone falling asleep.
Yeah, I could have waffled on more about the tyre compounds, to be honest, around here. It'll be hard, mediums, probably to the end of the race. Here we go, 5 red lights, Byron, over to you.
5 red lights here in Belgium. And it is lights out, and we go racing here in Spa for round 3 of PSGL, and it's a good start from Barack, who leads us into turn number 1. Look at the movement in the back as well, though, as ETA Paul there battles with Cameron Dowds over 3rd and 4th place. Cameron Dowds making that place around the outside as we head up the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion, and surely no one thinks about going side-by-side through here. Oh, I did see side-by-side up the hill. That was Talaz and Moustache there in 9th and 10th, side-by-side up the hill. That is a massive move there to try and do that, as Oscar takes the lead here ahead of Barack, and it's nearly 3 wide as we go into the top here of Lecombe, and now down the hill and towards Ravage. Barack leads, Cameron Dowds in 2nd, Oscar in 3rd. Cameron Dowds having made up 2 places already on the back of Barack here, and thinking about that move as Oscar and ET8 Paul glued together and thinking about making a few places there, as ET8 Paul has lost some places on the exit there, and Rens Tomasson now up into 4th place. Opening lap underway. ET8 Paul has lost a lot of places, but Barack continues to lead.
Yeah, and you know what? I think he might lose another one here, because Talaz was right on the back of Paul, coming to the left-hander now, turn number 12 and 13. Doesn't get the move done. Everyone's sending behind. Casper Flack making up progress, by the way. Only one on a set of medium compounder tyres. Everyone else has been boring and has gone into a set of hard compounder tyres. Cameron Dowds, though, phenomenal start. Went around the outside, by the way, of Oscar, running in towards Lecombe, running down in towards Bruxelles. Got the job done. The Flying Scotsman now holds back, but Rens Tomasson not holding. Goes around 1-1. Now for the inside line into the bus stop chicane. He's got one of his biggest rivals ahead of him in Cameron Dowds coming through the bus stop chicane. Now Rens tries to go all the way around the outside. All the Norwegian, he does manage that, gets the job done. Thuni's into third. Paul and Tallers there inside of each other, pretty much coming through turn number 1. Rianne and Oscar now turn number 1 as well. But Barak leads the way. Cameron Dead in second. Ren Somerson in third. I'll pull my teeth in for lap 2.
That is a lovely saying, but here we go as we head up the hill now. DRS enabled here, and we're likely to see a change for the lead here with that rear wing that will open nice and wide here for Cameron Dowds, as he will make that overtake nice and easily here. What about Rens Thomason? He stays behind Barak for the time being here. Cameron Dowds now leads the way here on lap number 2, and will hope to try and pull away from the driver behind him if he's able to, and I have no doubt his dad will be furiously hoping that his son can pull away, because Cameron Dowds, his dad, is always a massive supporter of his son. It's great to see him always in the chat cheering him on. But lap 2 getting on nicely, not many moves there as we went up the hill, but that DRS train, everybody in the field in this DRS train, the entire field separated by less than 6 seconds. It doesn't get closer than that in racing conditions. We're having a lovely start to the race, and we're only 2 laps in.
We are only 2 laps in, and do you know what? It's going to be DRS chicken, I've got to say. I said this about F2 a little bit earlier on. Ian Byron's been in the call. There is side by side of Paul, Tallers and Dirk. I'm not sure if that was a bit of lag spike in there from Paul. He's there in 7th, Tallers there in 8th, Dirk in 9th. Definitely looked like a bit of lag spike, and certainly on my end. But Cameron Dowds leads the way, Barak in 2nd. Rens Thomason there in 3rd again. Rens on the back of Barak into the right-hander and now to the left of the bus stop chicane. Casper Flack, though, coming like a flash. Now on the back of Ryan, coming around the outside in towards turn number 1. Across the start-finish line we go. Casper Flack does get past Ryan down in towards turn 1. Job done for him. Barak and Rens Thomason are already playing their DRS checking. In fact, I think actually one of them's made a mistake. Rens Thomason now doing into 2nd. Barak there in 3rd. There's so much going on, I can't even keep up with the cameras on my end. Cameron Dowds though tries to escape up the road, 6th of a second. Barak though on the back now of Rens. Oscar could have a really good double toe on the back of both of them. He doesn't opt to go for it for now, but everyone just stays in behind, stays in a bit of line of stern formation. Cameron leads Rens Thomason in 2nd, Barak in 3rd. We're going to see movement through the field, probably not yet.
No, definitely not quite yet. We will definitely see a little bit of variation, probably in terms of strategy. It'll be interesting to see who pits and when. Do they pit a little bit earlier? Do they pit a little bit later? It really will be interesting to see what we get in terms of that side of the race. If you go for that undercut, you go for the overcut. What do you think about doing? There is a bit of rain on the possible radar for about half an hour from now, so we could see a bit of rainy conditions, which may be an indication as to why everybody started on the hard compound tyres, as Barak has a bit of a rear end slide there, coming out of the exit of, I believe that was Fanier.
Yep, through Fanier in towards Campos, and now he's under pressure from Oscar. And do you know what? If I was Oscar, I'd go for the move, because that is a very weak-looking car ahead of him. Barak gives him the space, but in the end, Oscar too late to try and fight that move. Maybe didn't want to fight it at all, but Oscar, from my perspective, should have went for the move. Should have just forced Barak into a little bit of self-confidence, really, out on track. And Oscar there stays in full. Barak there in 3rd. More movement happening throughout the field. There is a split, by the way, in the train, or there was, because Moustache was 1.1 seconds behind. Now all of a sudden he's 5/10 behind as Casper Flack goes down the inside line at turn number 1 in the medium on the medium compound of tyres. Hard, and no excuse there for Moustache, and Casper Flack easily passes him down the straight, down and towards turn 1 at the source, as Rens now set his sights on Cameron Dowds, the Flying Scotsman, who is quite literally leading the DRS train out on track. Quite literally, no steam coming out of the car in the Alpine just yet, unlike the Flying Scotsman. But Cameron leads the way. Oscar, though, goes to the inside of Barak. Right on the back red shot. Now on the inside of turn number 5. Tries to get the move done. Through turn number 6. Oh, chops up Oscar right at the pass. Oscar makes a mistake. There's a bit of carbon fibre flying as well. That's a left side end plate, I think. If I'm not mistaken, but Rayanne it is. It's Rayanne that's picked up the left side end plate damage. There was a car in the wall. Tom Roberts on the side. Safety car.
I'm not sure what happened with Tom Roberts there, but I did see contact made between Rayanne, I believe that was Oscar, Rayanne, and Barak there, who made a bit of contact, got a little bit argy-bargy there through turn number 5 as they were heading through Le Common towards the exit and down towards Rivage. Contact made. Not sure what happened to Tom Roberts there to cause that safety car. I believe there was an incident with Max von der Geest actually as well that's got him pretty far down the order at the moment. So really interesting to see under those safety car conditions, and we were talking about the rain that's now 29 minutes away, well, the time we've had 3 laps under the safety car, that 29 minutes is suddenly going to be about 22, say. So all of a sudden, the weather is really going to begin to play a bit more of a factor in this race than we might have first thought.
Not only that, Casper Black is on a set of medium compound tyres. Does he decide if there's no rain coming? As Cameron Dowd is in the pits. Cameron Dowd is into the pit lane. This has got to be for a set of medium compound tyres. They obviously think that the rain is coming in 29 minutes time, as you mentioned. Is it coming, though, a little bit sooner than expected within the game cycle? That's what's going to be the interesting thing here, because Cameron Dowd into the pit lane, set of mediums go on. That's my eyesight playing up there. I thought he was on a set of softs. He's on a set of medium compound tyres. Most of the drivers having to pit in on the set of medium compound tyres. It's whether or not, though, they can get towards the rain period. If that rain is due in, probably 27, 28 minutes now, are they going to get to that rain period? I doubt they will. And that is going to be the intriguing thing. This early safety car has plagued and thrown open this race completely.
Absolutely has indeed. If you think about the 3 laps under the safety car, say that knocks off about 8 minutes of our race time. You'd be looking about 18 minutes until rain. So under these laps under the safety car, it allows them to ease those compounder tyres in, that medium compound, and it should mean that they may be able to take that to the rain, especially if it does come a couple of minutes earlier than what we're getting told on our screens, on our telemetry. But light rain in 25 minutes is what we are getting in terms of information relayed to us through our telemetry at the moment. But under these safety car conditions, Rens Thomassen leads the way, Barak followed by Matteo, then Paul Volakongen, Ryder Hall, and then Brando. And then you have Cameron Dowds, who, has pit. So really interesting to see. Will the benefit that he will get from a fresh set of medium compound tyres offset the hard compound tyres in front? I'm not too convinced on that one. If he's able to really unleash the maximum pace and the rain comes a bit sooner, then maybe it works to his benefit. But if that rain holds off maybe a couple of laps or a couple of minutes, it just might unravel a little bit more for Cameron Dowds than he may like.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think, honestly, the positioning out on track as well is going to be a real deciphering thing, I think, in all of this, because he's there in P8. He's got a little bit of work to do to pass Brando, Radadel, Volakongen, but he is on quicker tyres. And I would guess, I know we don't have a tyre graphic, I don't think, at the minute, but if we did, I would guess Cameron Dowds is probably on about 10 to 15% fresher tyres in terms of his tyres compared to those guys in the sort of hards. And if that's the case, Cameron Dowd should definitely utilise that 10-15% advantage that he might have on those tyres right now. But those are going to be very similar to the set of medium compounded tyres as they go through this stint. And with that rain coming, everyone's going to even itself out. Has Cameron Dowd actually done the right thing here? Go into the pit lane, gone on a set of medium compound tyres and forced, because seeing the likes of Tales and Max von der Gies into the pit lane, both TF10 boys in, set of hards back on for Tales. This should be a set of hards back on for Max von der Gies. And if that's the case, they are probably getting told, if I'm not mistaken, they'll probably be getting told that the rain is not coming, at least from Tales' perspective, that's the case. Max von der Gies, though, back in a fresh set of mediums, wants those tyres, but he's down in 19th. He's not going to make any inroads, really, from that.
Interesting strategies at play at the moment. We should be back under green flag running, hopefully, come the end of this lap. I would have hoped. We can certainly hope, as we have about 23 minutes until that rain at the moment. Max von der Gies onto the mediums was an interesting choice, and obviously Tellez onto hard. So a bit of a split idea in terms of when the rain is going to come, whether it's going to be a bit earlier or a bit later in the race. Doesn't seem like the drivers know, which is always a good sign for a little bit of chaos and carnage when it does hit the track. So I'd definitely be open to that.
Yeah, trust the engineers, though. I'm sure we're watching this stream and are probably thinking, oh, well, the guys in the commentary box are talking about rain. We have got to prepare for that rain. So every single driver out on track right now will be cycling like the F1 drivers do, cycling from plans A to A, B, C, all the way through to Z. I know Logan's watching Countdown, so he'll definitely get that reference from that perspective as well. But coming down in towards the Vanya chicane. We should get the safety car in, probably coming through Stavilo and then towards Curve Paul Frere. This is going to be game time for Renz, Thomason and Barak. They're going to have to try and extend out. And do you know what? They could even split the pack potentially if they have such a good restart. But if they don't, Cameron Dowds, Oscar, Casper Black, Mustache, the likes on that set of medium compound tires are going to be there. Safety car coming in this lap right about now. Renz Thomason now the virtual Burmounder. He's now the virtual safety car. And this is not the first time that he has set a safety car precedent around this track. He did this a couple of weeks ago in a commentary that I did elsewhere. But Renz now, virtual Burmounder, virtual safety car. Everyone's even on EOS. We're about to get back to green flag racing.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see what Renz Thomason can do on this restart and what Barak can do in terms of putting a bit of a challenge to the man in front of him. What can these drivers do in terms of giving us a spicy restart? We've already had a bit of spice in this race, but I fancy it just getting that little bit hotter. It's going to heat up that little bit more here as we will get back under green flag running now. And Renz Thomason will lead us back away, and we are back under green flag and racing conditions here in Belgium, and it is a good restart for Renz Thomason, who did catch Barak off a little bit off guard there as we head down towards turn number 1. Cameron Dowds, there's been a yellow flag there, and that's Tales who's gone round, yeah, as you say, in the final couple of corners. So annoyingly, he's brought out the sector a yellow flag there.
Cameron Dowds trying to go around the outside through a Rouge and Radio. Surely not. Oscar's going to have a phenomenal one now on the back of Brando. Sorry to put you off there, Ronaldo. Oh, look at this. Exactly how I predicted it might go. Brando contact the back of Ronaldo. Here comes Cameron Dowds though around the outside into one they come. Tries to go all the way around the outside. Now to the inside line. There's the medium compounder tyres coming into play. Cameron Dowds is through one. He's got a wall in front of him. A Scandinavian wall at that with Ronaldo ahead of him. But that is one move that Cameron Dowds needed. This is also a move that Mustache needs because he's on the outside line now on Oscar. Round the outside through No Name. Tries to get the move done. Ryan running behind as well. This could end in tears.
It absolutely could end in tears. There's a few moves there as well as Rayan overtakes Casper Flack there in the background here, but so much movement happening here as Rayan goes down the inside of Casper Flack. They go side by side there, and that's Hazara. Or is that Casper Flack who's gone off there in the background? Casper Flack there losing a lot of pace and time there as he cuts to the grass. But Mustache doing a good job at the moment on the defense and on the offense, as Oscar does a good job on the offense to try and go around the outside of Brando here as now we go through the final corner there, a couple final corners there as we go through Blanchimont into the bus stop chicane. What can he do? Can he get that place done and dusted as he has to try and leave a bit of room there for Brando and gets that place done? I'm noticing though there's front wing damage to Brando's front wing.
Exactly what I was going to say there. Mustache dives it to the inside line. Knows there's some wing damage. There's more damage in behind because Ryan tries a very audacious move. I think that was on the back of Rian. There's a VSC. VSC deployed out on track. Ryan trying to make it 3 wide, I think. Down in towards turn 1, completely locked it up on the brakes. Rien just got absolutely sent. Mateo's crashing in practice for the E8 boys. Definitely nothing like what happened there. Ryan and Rien both with damage. I think Rien's got left side unplate damage still on that car. If he hasn't replaced it in his from earlier on. Ryan though, no something on the car. That's why we've got the VSC. And in the end, Ryan knows better than not to go for a move. 3 wide, down in towards turn number 1. In the end, though, you've got to make the moves if you want to try and be the best.
Absolutely, it didn't pan out on that occasion, but with the possibility of rain later on in this race, it really does mean that there's no point retiring so early on because you're not down and out. There is no such thing as down and out in a changeable condition race. So, with rain only now 18 minutes away, we're back under green flag running once again. And at this rate, we're going to hit the limit for how many safety cars you can have in a race, just because these drivers are having a little bit of a tussle as they go through the laps here. But Cameron Dowds doing a good job, the lead driver who has pit in this race, and is nicely onto the back of Volokongan here, as he's certainly going to be thinking about a move within the next lap or so, as we head on to, in a moment, what will be lap 9, and we're getting towards half distance now.
We are getting towards half distance. Here comes Marios on the back of Alpha Gully further down the field, trying to go all the way around the outside through the bus stop. Doesn't make the move stick in the end. The man in the RB against the man in the McLaren. McLaren, of course, leading the real-life constructor standings in Formula 1 in real life. Rens Thomason, though, has gapped Barak now to 0.8 of a second. And this is the threat that Rens Thomason poses from the front. He can control this pace to however he wants. He has got Cameron Dowd off the back by about 3 seconds. He, though, is making a move past Volokongan down the straight in towards turn number 5 at Lecombe. So that is Cameron Dowd's Spoonies into 5th. But there could be a split that happens between Matteo and Paul. That could be bad news for Cameron Dowd if he doesn't go for the move. Oscar gets through on Radadal as well. Mustache and Hazara through on Brando down in towards turn number 5 as well. But Rens Thomason, he has got this real knack of just turning up an extra gear from the front. This is what I expect him to do. If we've got rain coming in the next 15 minutes, you would expect Rens Thomason to push that battery and try and drag everyone out. In the end, though, Cameron Dowd's Byron is right on the back of Paul, going around the outside through Pouon, now into the inside of the Fania chicane, tries to go down the inside line, does get down the inside, never doubt the Flying Scotsman, 30s into 4th.
Yeah, he's making absolutely sensational moves through the field, and we said, was pitting the right thing? And well, at the moment, it's certainly proving that way, but will it be that come the end of, when we get to, that rain hitting? We are still 16 minutes away from rain. However, it's gone from light rain to storm. It is suddenly changed from a little bit of pitter-patter and onto the inters to possibly wet, possibly. But now it's gone back to light rain, so who knows? It could be really anything. So Cameron Dowd says the fast lap of the race, and he's already on the back of Matteo really nicely here. And he could be about to make a move onto the podium, and an easy move onto the podium if he's able to get that slipstream of benefit here as he heads up the hill. And you see Matteo making the move there to get up into second place. Surely they don't go 3 wide here, as Cameron Dowd has to slot in behind here as Barak goes down to 3rd, Matteo up to 2nd place, and Matteo will undoubtedly be trying to set his sights on the race leader here as Cameron Dowd. Surely, ballsy move there as they get a little bit argy-bargy there, and maybe a little bit of force on the exit there from Cameron Dowd on Barak, but a brilliant overtake there, and already onto the back of Matteo. It is looking absolutely like Cameron Dowd is in another league today.
He is in another league, quite literally, and do you know what? He is so good in terms of his race pace. I normally talk about how his ERS is doing with a slight slide there coming to the left hand of 13, where of course Russell and Giovinazzi crashed in 2021. Cameron Dowd's on the back though, Matteo coming now through the right hander of Stavolo. He is on the back. He's got 73% of ERS though. Matteo's got 52. Rens Thomason's got 65. So Cameron Dowd right now ahead of the top 5 as Oscar gets moved on and Paul round the outside through Bunchemont into 5th. But everyone else behind him or ahead of him is on slightly less ERS compared to Cameron Dowd, and this is good for Cameron. He has got now Matteo in front of him. This is the man that he finished runner-up to in season 36. This is the man he finished as well, runner-up to Luca Rapata last season as well, and Cameron Dowd will be hoping that third time is definitely charm here in Belgium. He was on the podium last season, finished 3rd behind Matteo and Luca Rapazza. This is now game time for Cameron Dowd. The Flying Scotsman on the back of the Italian stallion pulls the outside line, easy as you like. Flying Scotsman is in full business down the straight, down in towards turn number 5. Job done for Cameron. He is through, he's into 2nd.
Indeed, it just watches the gap falls between Cameron Dowd and Rens Thomason as he's already pulling that gap really nice and close as it falls from about 8 tenths there as they went onto the straight to now 3 tenths as they go off of it. And now that gap will stagnate a little bit as they go through the second sector here as the pace is not able to keep quite as close just due to the dirty air. But as soon as you head onto a straight, Cameron Dowd will be absolutely like a monster here, and he is already proving to be like a robot around this circuit here as he is very much likely to throw himself up to the forefront of this grid in a couple of moments' time and get himself ahead of Rens Thomason. But will the driver of Rens Thomason put up a little bit more of a fight than maybe those behind. There's a race win on the line, so you certainly would think Rens Thomason would fight it, even if it is just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely so. Gap to leaders, by the way, been very, very good. Illustrated by Byron, of course, our graphics man, here tonight in the comms box. I can't afford, sadly, to do those graphics week in and week out. Otherwise, Evan will be using them every single week. But Rens Thomason leads the way. Cameron in second, Matteo there in third, Barak in fourth. What Cameron is now doing, he's just holding off the back of Rens. But look at his ERS. He's got 92%. Rens on 59. He's 40% or 30% more even than Rens right now out on track. And he's going to breeze past him. He doesn't even need to do anything. He passes them. Surely down the straight, thank you Cameron, down the straight towards turn number 5, gets the job done in the end, and he's into the lead of the race. This is now dangerous for Rens and Matteo and behind, because Cameron Dowds has got 4 lap fresher tyres. He's probably got 10% fresher, I think, still, compared to Rens out on top. If Cameron Dowds wants to, he can just turn this up, and he can really try and push out the pole, try and put that gap between Oscar and Barak, who are fighting side by side. Oscar and Barak just holds on for 4th. Oscar there in 5th. What I was going to say, though, is that gap was between Oscar and Paul. Now it could be between Matteo and Barak. If I was Cameron Dowds in this scenario, I'd be trying to drag this field out, especially, Byron, with that rain coming. Cloud beginning to build over the circuit. That is an ominous sign.
It is indeed light rain expected in around 11 minutes time or so, and for all of these drivers it's going to be really interesting to see what the pace and performance in their tyres is like when that rain does hit the circuit. Oscar really close to the back of Barak now as we head up towards Blanchimont. There's a yellow flag there in sector 3. Is that Rayan once again? It absolutely is. He's gone for another spin, and Oscar doesn't make the move there into the bus stop chicane, but very close behind Barak, who doesn't have much margin on that DRS window between himself and Matteo. It does seem like Cameron Dowds is trying to pull that top 3 into a league of their own for his sake and the benefit to him of not having as much competition come the checker flag, as Oscar will hope to make the move as now we head up the hill. This is a man on the mediums hoping to make a charge similar to Cameron Dowds, as now he will make that move nice and easily there, as now he gets up into 4th place. Now he's just got to get himself within that 1 second window of Matteo in front for the podium.
Yeah, and Barak made a mistake coming through turn 1, and that could have been a curtain call. That could have been Oscar and Barak done outside of a second. Look, though, what is happening? Cameron Dowds has heard me. I'm not sure if I'm Mr. James or something here in the commentary box, but look at the gap now. It's a second. Cameron Dowds is now beginning to string out this field. Rens Thomason and Matteo have not got to respond at this moment in time. With that rain forecast in now less than 10 minutes' time, it is going to be really, really intriguing to see how Rens and Matteo can respond. They have got to, for the sake of their championship early on, they have got to try and work together. I know they hate each other. I know they physically hate each other out on track. They're both, of course, within that same team, but they are now 1 seconds to the worse off compared to Cameron Dowds ahead. If I was these two, I'd be working together, trying to get back within that second. In the end, though, Cameron Dowds against the clock right now. It is out on track, coming in toward the right-hander of turn number 18 and 19 at the bus stop chicane. There was another yellow flag. That is Ryan, I think, round at the back end. Sorry, is it? I don't know who that is. It is Ryan. Yeah, he's both going through the right hander. I shouldn't second that myself. Cameron Dowds needs to buy Rens in second, Matteo in third. But now, Rens and Matteo have got to work together.
They absolutely do. That 1 second window being broken by Cameron Dowds is absolutely huge for his chances in this race. Breaking that magic 1 second window is so crucial if you want to try and maintain that position. So Matteo makes the move here and up and ahead of Rens Thomason, and look at the way he gains as Oscar goes down the inside of Rens Thomason as well. Nice. What a dive. That's a really beautiful send from him, and now Matteo within that 1 second window, so they work together just enough. And now Cameron Dowds has got just to find a couple attempts now through this second and third sector if he wants to try and keep that 1 second window and keep these drivers out of threat's way. But for now, he's got a couple attempts to find.
He has got a couple of tenths to find, but what he doesn't know is what I'm now going to tell him. Matteo has got triple the amount of ERS compared to Cameron Dowd right now. Cameron's on 35%. Matteo, 84, runs wide, coming, however, in towards Campos' corner. Now costs them 0.2 of a second, and now it's back outside of a second. Matteo cannot afford to do another mistake like that. You are inviting Cameron Dowd on a silver platter, if that is the case. But at this moment in time, Matteo picked up, quite literally, there was a bit of tarmac flying off the curbs there. I thought it was carbon fibre for a second. Matteo locks up completely into the left-hander there. There was Dr. Kane. Now to the left-hander turn 19. On the run to the line again. He's back within a second. But now, Oscar is right on the back of him. And if this was a team event, it's Chazoo against ET8. And they've been dominating things recently. We should know where we commentate on team events. Cameron Dowd leads. Matteo in second. Oscar in third. But Byron, cloud cover. Is the rain going to come before the end of the race? And when does it fall?
Well, rain is forecast for about 6 minutes' time, but for Matteo, 6 minutes may mean nothing as he's under threat from Oscar now, as he will fall to third place as Oscar up to second place. And that is a move, a beautiful move from Oscar now, who's right on the back of the teammate, not his teammate, the driver, who took the same gamble at him as the same time under that safety car onto the medium compound tyres, and it has worked wonders for now. But will it stay that way? We've got 6 minutes approximately until rain, and it looks like we could be getting a rain for the foreseeable future once it does hit the circuit. And well, light rain here to stay as soon as it does come. And you can see that there on your right hand side of your screen. Rain is imminent and will be with us shortly. But for the time being, Oscar has got a lot of work on his hand. Cameron Dowd's in front. This could be a real squabble between these two.
It could. And do you know what? I'm just going to call it now. We get rain either lap 17 or lap 18, and it will be enough to wet the track, and it will be enough for everyone to come in the pit lane on a set of inters. Do they risk it though? Do they stay out on that set of dry compounded tyres? This is going to be maybe a manic ending, but it could be one of the best endings we've ever had here in PSF1. About to go into lap 16 out of 22. We've still got 7 laps to go in this race. The rain can easily come in that time. Cameron leads the way. Oscar there in second, Matteo with the Renz in fourth. Paul was outside of a second, now brings that gap back down to 0.7 of a second, but goes wide. Coming through turn number 1, Mustache, Barak, Molokong and Hazara all brought into the battle as well. Oscar now sets his sights on his Team Chazoo teammate in Cameron Dowd and should breeze past him here down the straight, and Matteo will not be too far off this either. Oscar now leads the race, Cameron Dowd in second, Matteo dropping it down to 7th, back up to 8th, does not want anything to do with this, he knows what's coming. Ren's there in 4th, as Mustache gets the move done, he's through and he's into 5th, and the Frenchman now has to try and charge on the back of the front 4.
Indeed he does, but look at the cloud cover. It has really just engulfed the circuit out of nowhere. Just 30 seconds ago, it was sunny, and now, out of nowhere, oh, it's raining already. The rain's come sooner than it was supposed to, and now they have a real decision on their hand. When do they box? Is it worth boxing this lap, or is it worth sticking it out for another lap? It is really a difficult decision for the drivers to make. When is it time? As Oscar leads the field now through. Cameron Dowd in second. Matteo in third place. Now Renz Tomasson and Mustache there, 4th and 5th respectively. Mustache really on the bubble of DRS here, so he's going to hope to gain a little bit of time here on that medium versus hard. And well, in these lower grip conditions, that medium compound versus hard compound will just net a little bit of an advantage in terms of being able to keep them on the road that little bit longer. But no one coming into the pit lane just yet, but will someone at the back take a bit of a gamble possibly?
I was going to, yes, there was an Aston Martin in, and that's Radadal into the pit lane. 15 laps on those hards, has to come in from mandatory pit stop, has to go on a set of mediums, and do you know what? I think he might have done the right thing here, because these now raindrops are beginning to fall on the track and affect the track surface coming through Rouge and Radion. That might be half a lap too early, but for me, I think that might be spot on. As Cameron Dowd has passed the outside of Oscar. Now Matteo coming like an absolute shot on the back of both. Doesn't get the move done. Oscar has to try and put that off right at the pass. He knew what Matteo was going to do there, try to go around the outside of him, but Cameron Dowds leads the way. Oscar in second, Matteo there in third, Ren Thomason there in fourth. At this moment in time, Rydal, Casper Flack, Taled, all into the pit lane, Ryan into the pit lane as well. Set of inters will go on. I think it's too early though, potentially. It's a lap too early, and I think these guys are going to have to come in, maybe even lap 18, because this rain, initially I thought was affecting the track surface, but actually it's quite light out there.
Yeah, the sector times are still looking reasonably decent to what you might expect to see, so not too bad at all at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on the sector times from those on the intermediate tyres, and once we get a representative sector time, I will say what the pace difference is looking between those two compounds. Rydal is gaining on Brando there through the second sector, but I'll wait for a couple sector times to come through until we say anything conclusive. But as we head on to what will be lap 18, will we see some more of these front-running pack come in for a change of tyres onto that inters? And look, some of them go, but some of them stay. Matteo has taken a gamble, as has Paul and Barak, all taking that gamble, staying out. One more lap.
Oh my God.
And the sector times, let me have a little look. Rydal is the leading driver on a set of intermediate compound tyres, and they've pit on the right lap because the sector times from those on the inters in sector 2 was faster than those on a set of slicks.
Yep, and Rydal is closed in over a second to Brando in behind as well. Brando is into the pit lane. Where is Rydal going to filter out in all of this? I think he's side by side with Alpha Gully coming out the pit lane here, or near enough Marios. I think he's going to be ahead of Marios. By the time they get down towards the Rouge and Radion, he is just about a car length ahead. Now he is. Rydal just gets to move to Marios. He close up to them as Oscar and Cameron Dowds are side by side. Ren Thomason fighting in this battle as well. These, remember, are on the set of intermediate compound tyres. It doesn't look too bad coming through the top part of the track. Now coming down the hill and towards Bruxelles, it doesn't look too bad. Matteo might be right, you know. Matteo might to come in the pit lane this time around. DRS disabled has not popped up on my screen just yet. It's probably imminent if it is, but Matteo at this moment is losing time to Oscar. But he will have that fresh inters toward the end of this race. It's an 18-second loss in terms of the pit stops. Right now, it's 14. It's trending in the wrong direction for Matteo, who is absolutely fighting the car coming through Stabilo.
He is indeed, and it's going to be really difficult. I wonder where he will come out versus those like Oscar and Rens Thomason, who came into the pit lane this one lap earlier. It is going to really hurt, I think, Matteo here, who will certainly lose quite a few places. We're not seeing much standing water. In fact, I don't see any water on the track at the moment. So it's really interesting at the moment what we're seeing in terms of that track as the top three come into the pit lane, and now Max von der Geest will follow them in. Where does Oscar come out in this? He's going round the final bend now on the exit. He is going to be absolutely clear, not even a questionable doubt in terms of where that top three are going to come out. They're going to filter out a long way behind here as Matteo, DRS now disabled. Matteo is going to come out in 5th place here as Moustache is surely going to gain the place here going up the hill. Oh, he doesn't. So 4th for Matteo, a couple of seconds lost. Not ideal, but not irreparable.
That is the best possible outcome for Matteo in all of this. He's 2.3 seconds off the back of Cameron Dowds. Matteo, physically around this track, because I can tell you that he is very strong in a set of intermediate compound tyres around this track. He could eat into this gap very easily indeed. And Cameron Dowds, Renz and Oscar can't really do a thing about it. The gap's already down 0.2 of a second, now 0.3 of a second. So Matteo is eating into that advantage, but at what cost to his battery? He's got 43% of ERS coming down through the right-hander there of through the left-hander even of Jackie X, 51%. But he is closing the gap without having to lose that. He's only 10% inferior at this moment to Cameron Dowds. So right now, Matteo has got to try and close in that gap if he can. The thing is, he's in clear air, but he's going to be catching dirt. You know what I mean? Matteo there in 4th has got to now put his pedal to the metal and his foot to the floor. Just put me right in George Morgan on that one. Now coming to the right-hander of Camper towards Stabilo. Look at the gap though. This gap was 2.4 at the start of the lap. It's now 1.8. Matteo, if he closes in 0.6 a lap, he's on the back of Cameron 2 laps.
Indeed he would be, and the rain is only going to get heavier from here into the race, so it is only going to get more and more adapt for these conditions that we're seeing. So the fresher inters of Matteo could just help a little bit more when we get a couple of more laps into these conditions. We've got just 3 laps to go of this race. Oscar leads, followed by Rens Thomassen, then Cameron Dowds in third, and then Matteo with 1.9 seconds to try and find to get himself onto the podium here. And well, as you say, he's looking good on that set of intermediate compound tyre at the moment. But is there going to be enough time in this race for him to mount a charge for the race win? No. As there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure who that is that's caused that. That may have been Tales. Oh no, it was Ryan. There you go. There's your answer. So interesting stuff that we're seeing at the moment. But Matteo, he's getting a little bit into that gap, but he's not making massive inroads on this second lap as he did on the first.
No, it's trending in the wrong direction, to be honest, for Matteo. It's the middle sector, though, that I find that he's normally quite strong at. And again, gap is closed, what, 1/10 of a second? I know it's minimal gains, and again, this gap is just fluctuating. At this moment in time, though, it concerns the front 3. I don't think Matteo is now in this race. I don't think Mustache is going to be anywhere near involved. It's between now, Oscar, Rens Thomassen, and Cameron Dowds for this race win. If I'm a betting man, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Oscar, I think, potentially the favourite out of all of these to try and take it to the line. But we know how Rens Thomassen is, how strong he can be around this track, not only in the dry, but in the wet. So if I'm a betting man right now, I'm going Rens Thomassen for this race win. And if I'm right at the end, then just make up that for the fact that we didn't have an Evan Paul earlier on.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what we get between now and that checkered flag as the spray starts to come up off of these cars now, and the Inters have to start doing a little bit more work here as the rain falls just that little bit harder here. But Oscar leads the way at the moment. Volokongan and Barak there battling as that man, Barak, he might have been on pole. It might have been a brilliant pole, but he has really struggled since the start of this race here, but he might try and fight this down the inside here into turn number 1. Nicely held by the pair of them there as Barak now lives to find another day versus Volokongan. Do they go side by side up through Eau Rouge and Radion on intermediate compound tyres? Surely not. Barak has to slot in behind Volokongan, making that place up. But as they run down the hill, shortly, once again, they'll swap places as now Barak goes for the inside. Will he get far enough alongside down the inside as now we head down and through into Lacombe as now on the exit side by side through there. That is brilliant. Ballsy racing to do on a set of intermediates here in wet conditions. A brilliant move from Barak, but how much longer can he hold this place off because Volokongan is Volonocking.
Somebody has come with his cojones, and honestly, Barak has got some. Going around the outside, going in toward Lake Holm, in the dry is something. Going around the outside of the wet, and having that battle with Volokongan, something else. Brilliant driving, I think, from both drivers in that battle. Absolutely sensational. Anyway, Rens Thomassen in second, Cameron Dowds in third. If you're a Rens Thomassen fan right now, I'd look away. 16% less ERS compared to Oscar. 16% less compared to Cameron Dowds, who is now utilising all of that extra battery that he has saved up to try and close within a second. Of course, DRS is disabled. Onto the final lap we will go. Oscar, though, leading the way. Rens Thomassen in second. Cameron Dowds in third. We're about to go to the final lap, and Oscar makes a mistake. Coming into the bus stop chicane. That is crucial. In Rens Thomassen in. Final lap. Byron, takeaway.
Indeed. Final lap of action here for round number 3. And Rens Thomassen, he could be eyeing up a win here today, but is he able to gain that 5-10 deficit down the straight that he needs? He hasn't got as much battery, but has he got the prowess and the move to get it done? He'll have the slipstream, he won't have the DRS, but can he make that move? There's a little bit of a slide there for Oscar as they head up the hill through Eau Rouge and Radion. 4.5 tenths the gap as we head down the straight. What can Rens Thomassen do? Can he make that move? Can he make the overtake? No. Well, not into Lake Holm, but can he make it later on in the lap? If a mistake creeps in for Oscar, again, it could be absolute curtains for Oscar's chances in this race. But EC8 Paul has gained himself a place versus Mustache, and Volokongan, I believe, continues to battle with Barak there for 7th and 8th. But final lap of action here. Rens Thomassen trying to make this move on Oscar, but wet tyres and these conditions not necessarily proving too useful in terms of getting him into that place that he'd dearly love to be in. But he's absolutely driving the neck out of the car to try and make that move if he can and sniff that opportunity. Is there going to be an opportunity towards the bus stop chicane? That is going to be the question that Rens Thomassen is going to try and answer here. He's used to having to make the ballsy moves. He's had to make some ballsy moves today, but can he make one final one to try and take the win here today? It doesn't look like he's going to be quite close enough here today, but Oscar has driven absolutely superbly today. He has gone and conquered every challenge, made every ballsy overtake you could imagine, and through the win, it will come for the man who has an absolute brilliant display today. Brilliant defensive driving from Oscar. Rens Thomassen in second, then Cameron Dowds in third, Matteo fourth, Paul fifth, then Mustache and Barak, Volakongan, Alpha Gully, and Ryder Hall, your top 10. Oscar, we didn't mention him much in the race, but an absolutely brilliant clinical drive from him.
It was, and do you know what? That all came down to who had the most CRS, and Oscar did. He had 20% more than Rens in the final stage of that race. Rens Thomassen was closing quickly, but I don't know what Team Shazoo have been feeding Oscar in terms of his setup, because that setup and that straight line speed running on the final lap of the race was something else. He gapped Rens Thomassen to 0.4 of a second. Rens couldn't close him down, and in the end, really smart tactical driving, I've got to say, from the Shazoo man. Absolutely deserves the race win. Rens in second, Cameron Dowds in third. What that does to the championship standings, I will tell you very shortly. But Oscar for now is out on top. He is in that championship fight. For Rens, Cameron Dowds, Mateo sort of nullify him out because they're second and third and fourth.
Indeed, what a race that was. We'll get the full race classification in just a moment. We're just waiting for TF10 Dirk to cross the line so we can have that full race classification. But what a race it was, and what a race it was for that man on your screen, Oscar, taking the win today, and a well-deserved win for him and for Shazoo and his team, of course. Really is brilliant display from him to take such a good result. But your final race classification just to come, but you got to give it to your top three today, who will take to the virtual podium and no doubt will be celebrating in the real world too, especially that man with the Norwegian flag, because he has had a brilliant race here today and, well, takes to that top step, and deservedly so, as he takes a great win here in Spa. And, well, we'll certainly be remembering that one for a little while to go, but a penny for the thoughts of Cameron Dowds, because he was so good in this race and could have got a little bit more out of it, I feel.
Definitely so, yeah. Oscar taking the race win, Rens in second, Cameron Dowds in third. For the benefit of everyone, just in case Byron hasn't got it up, Matteo in fourth, Paul in fifth, then Mustache, Volokong and Alpha Gully, and Marios getting a point there, ran off the top 10. Great drive from Alpha Gully, by the way, 18th up to 9. Max won the Geese in 11th, then Casper Flack, Rodadel, Hazara, Brando, Tales, Ryan, bit of a mouthful to say if they're close together. Dirk there in 19th, and then the only DNF that we had out on track was Tom Roberts, causing that VSC early on with his, causing that safety car even early on. That is him done. But in the end, fantastic end to that victory. And in the end, hopefully, we get to hear from him very soon indeed. I know we're not in the comms box one, but we may as well try interviews anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try. Let's see if we can get a driver in for an interview. Might mess with my little cameras, but hey, no need to worry about that, right? But I mean, what a good drive from Oscar. It really is. It's great to see those sort of clinical drives. As I said, we didn't mention him the most, but he was a silent factor the entire race, and when he needed to do something, he was there, he did it, he got it done, and then went back to being very quiet. It was like Batman. He lurked in the shadows, but when you needed him, he was there. Brilliant stuff from him.
Yeah, and in the end, he came out of the shadows and took the race win out on track, and that's nothing. That's what you don't. That's what you want, I think, from a driver. in PSF1 to be overall consistent, but to just try and pick up a race win very astutely, very looking like, I'm going to say, from Oscar. And that's exactly what he did tonight. Did a fantastic job. Deserved that race win. In the end, Renz Thomason, he would have won another lap because he was closing on the back of Oscar at the end of the day. And he would have probably got him with another couple of laps underneath his belt. Cameron Dowds in third, just too far, too little, too late. Unfortunately for the Flying Scotsman, it's good, still a good amount of points from him. Cameron Dowds, by the way, is in the waiting room. I've just figured, how on earth are we going to do these interviews?
I feel like we have to somehow smoothly transition to the comms box. So I think the only way to do that is to go to the comms box. I'll see you there in a second, James Head, and we will then catch and speak to well, some of our amazing drivers that we've had here. We've got Cameron Dowds in the waiting room for us, and we'll get him in a couple of seconds' time. And, well, we will get a word from Cameron Dowds, who got on the podium, but maybe would have wanted that little bit more. Would you like to kick off the questions, James Head?
Indeed. Cameron Dowds, P3, out on track. It was a little bit of too little, too late, almost, I think, within that race. It was... I think you were in the right positions at the right time, and then Renz and Oscar just sort of got away with you, especially with the tyres and the weather changing. Talk us through the race.
Yeah, the pace was really good in the dry. I was in a very good position going into the conditions, and then on the end lap, on my last lap on the dries, I used a lot of battery just to stay ahead of Oscar and Matteo. And then coming out the pits, DRS was still enabled. I didn't have the battery to defend, and then that just put me on the back foot. But to be honest, I think in the inters I was slower on the inters anyway, just because I know Oscar was running a higher rear wing than front wing, and I wasn't, so that probably helped him a little bit in the wet conditions. But those two were just a bit faster than me, to be honest. I didn't quite have the pace to stick right behind them. It was just kind of hovering about 8 tenths to a second. But yeah, third's decent, but I would have definitely wanted to finish in front of Renz at least, just for the championship, to be honest. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mentioned that to Byron just before we transitioned over here, that it is still very tight in terms of the championship. It brings Oscar into play. You're still in that championship fight. I know we're through the first quarter of the season, but overall, looking at those first three races that you've had, would you have wanted things to go better? And I know the answer to this is probably yes, but would you wanted things to go a little bit better than what they have done?
To be honest, it's actually been quite a good start. I mean, a fifth, a first, and a third is probably my best start to a season. I mean, was it last season I didn't even sign up in time, did I?
Yeah.
I can't actually remember.
I don't know. It was a couple of seasons
Oh no,
ago.
I did. It was just because look, I missed a few races for holiday, but I think this is actually one of my best starts to a season, to be honest. I think in Australia I just didn't really have the pace there. Fifth was quite a good result. I was quite happy with that. And then I think here had I saved a little bit more ERS, maybe I could have fended off Oscar and Renz, but F and buts. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if and buts indeed. And unfortunately, I think you're still behind Matteo in terms of the championship, even though we finished a couple of points behind you. But it is still going to be a very long season ahead. Byron, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
I mean, it's been a little while since I've been here. It's been a little while since I've had the opportunity to ask a question, and well, especially to someone such as yourself, Cameron. I think obviously you mentioned there to James, like the good start to the season for you. Championship on, do you think, or is it kind of one of those of you think it's been just a kind of few good tracks that you're really strong at, or kind of is it too early to tell? Kind of where are you at? Do you think you've got a chance at the championship?
Yeah, definitely. I think I can win the championship. Australia was one of my weaker tracks. Belgium isn't particularly one of my good tracks either. Tracks like Kota, which we did, were kind of my style. Maybe like Silverstone in Japan, they're my kind of tracks. and they're still yet to come. So yeah, I'm definitely aiming for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you could have a really good season, Cameron, and well, certainly going to be a good one to watch. So I think we'll probably let you get on, go and enjoy your P3 today. But good result and looking good for your championship hopes.
All right, choose.
Well, we are pretty much done and dusted. And well, you don't get much. He has always got some real good words to say. Whenever you get him on an interview, he is just so good to talk to. He gives you that real driver's insight. Absolute delight, as always.
It is an absolute delight. And do you know what? He's still so young. I think he's, 15, 16 still? So he's still got all of that future ahead of him. And he has transitioned back from PC to PlayStation. And do you know what? I honestly think it's been the making of him. He's been such a good driver. He's been the Pied Piper twice in the last 2 seasons. Is it going to be his time, though? Only time will tell. What I have done, though, is done a quick maths update for the standings, provisionally, albeit without stupid reports. And there's 5 points separating the top 4 in the standings as it stands. If my maths is correct, Matteo, who picked up a 4th place finish, still leads the championship on 36 points, but that gap has now been whittled away with Renz Thomason in 2nd on 34, Cameron Dowds in 3rd on 32, and Oscar, with his 16 points, takes 31 points with him going into Canada for round 4 of the championship next week. So, if my maths is right, and that is all above board, and there's no reports coming in for either drivers, 5 points separating the top 4 going into next week, which means, Byron, you're missing it.
Well, yeah, I am absolutely, and it's one of those that action is always so close, and it's good not to be here because being here week in, week out, I don't know. I don't think I'd have a voice left if I'm honest, but I wouldn't mind it if I'm honest. On the flip side of that, so yeah, it's always gutting not to be here, but hey, I'm absolutely delighted to have been here tonight because just seeing that race and being back for this action, Karen, the result as it was. The action, the interchangeable conditions, it's everything you want in a league race.
It had it all, and do you know what? Evan Dalton missed it all, which is the worst possible thing that could have happened tonight, at least from our perspective in the commentary box. But there is still more action to come going forward, of course, in PSGL. E-Series, of course, coming up on Friday night. I'm going to get up the calendar. On in Abu Dhabi, I believe. So Abu Dhabi, round 1 on the championship, Friday, 7 p.m. UK time. If you want to tune for that, you can. Before that, though, you have got more action to come on the calendar. We go for round number 4 in Canada for the PC side. If you can see my arm, by the way, I am doing a touch screen right now. Thursday, PCF3, PCF7. PCF3 always live, of course, and that is at 7 p.m. UK time, and PCF2 and F4, 8 p.m. UK time. And then we're back, of course, on the PS side, PSF2 and F4 at 7 p.m. on Monday, and of course PSF1 and F3. If you want to tune in for myself and Evan, or Byron, if he's there next week, you can do 8 p.m. UK time, of course, and that is going to be in Canada next week. You don't want to miss it. If it was lively here in Belgium, it's going to be ever more lively, I think, in Canada next week.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that one. I don't have the calendar. I would show you the calendar, ladies and gentlemen. I don't appear to have that saved, and I don't know how, because I downloaded everything off the Google Drive. So I've somehow misplaced a calendar, or it wasn't there in the first place. So there you go. James Head has given you your rundown, whilst I frantically tried to find a graphic that didn't exist. So we've had a real blast, I think, and I'm gutted that I may not be here for next round for Canada, but hey, you can't win them all, but I won today, absolutely no doubt about that, and a good win for Oscar as well, who, certainly will be hoping to win more as the season goes on, but I think that's pretty much all we've got time for.
It is all we've got time for, but of course, a big thank you to our sponsors, GT Omega and Sim Racing Centre. GT Omega, by the way, have got the Black Friday sale going on right now. They are the leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals. Use code PSGL at checkout for 5% off on GT Omega products. Even more necessary, there's a Black Friday deal going on because you can get money off and you can get 5% off on PSGL as well. So that is happy days here in November. and of course Sim Racing Centre, who of course you saw in Byron's brilliant introduction for the Belgian Grand Prix. 10% off you can get at checkout for using the code PSGL at checkout, and that includes setups, expert engineering advice, or one-on-one coaching. And yes, you can get direct advice from F1 Esports champion and WRPC Tier 1 champion Brendan Lee. Just thought I'd mention that as well. But we have got Sim Racing Centre, 10% off at checkout for all your purchases. There you go.
Indeed. I mean, great stuff and great benefits as well, thanks to our amazing partners and sponsors over the pond over there. Well, up in Scotland if you're GT Omega, and over the pond in the Netherlands if you're Sim Racing Centre. But we have talked for long enough. We will let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. We'll be back. Well, James will be back this time next week for Canada. But until next time, when PSGL returns, bye-bye.